What separates leaders who thrive with new technology from everyone else? In this final part of our series, two industry veterans share how they carved out their careers, the mistakes they'd avoid if they could start over, and why sales skills are surprisingly crucial in the AI era.
Put yourself in places that would initially make you uncomfortable and try and get yourself out of it.
If you were to go back to your kind of younger self, is there any advice you would give based on what you've learned in your careers?
I always say that. So I spent about 10 years in the logistics industry, a couple years in sales, then 7 or 8 in management. So I was growing teams, I was growing sales and operations reps. So I think my business is set up to support the companies that I worked for in the past. I got very lucky is why. I can't discount that. I worked for a really good company right out of college. Didn't really know what I wanted to do and was fortunate to join a fast growing company and ended up being one of the leaders in the space. So I got to learn a lot. I got great mentors and great bosses along the way. And I think that has helped, my success so far. I had always wanted to start a business. Probably by the time I was 24 or 25, I knew I wanted to start something at some point. I started my company when I was 30. I thought it was going to be closer to 40, so it was a little early, but happy I did it for sure.
Awesome. What about you?
I spent beginning of my career in the healthcare sector, working in managed care for a tertiary facility. It was extremely rewarding, but what I learned most about it was I got to learn mostly about negotiating and determining, a win-win situation with these payers. Payers need a tertiary care facility in their network. Families require it. And so it was, that was the very first, that was the beginning of learning mostly about negotiations and building long-term relationships. And that's where I got just involved in data. That was the beginning of it. In healthcare, there is so much data with revenue codes and ICD-9s, and I think they're ICD-10s now, and learning where we're missing the mark on how we're pricing our services, and where where we're actually becoming better, more efficient. And communicating with, there's so many cogs to the wheel of trying to create this contract to make sure that our case managers are getting exactly what they need when they have to deal with the payers, or our clinical staff. So there's quite a bit involved, and it's nice to be the person involved with that and making sure that all levels of the hospital are content with, how our current services are working on the commercial side. So I've learned that quite a bit, and I've taken that I brought that with me to this business.
Awesome. So if you were to go back to your kind of younger self, is there any kind of advice you would give based on what you've learned in your careers?
I always say that having a sales mindset is really important. And I don't think I had realized that early on. I remember going into my first sales role and thinking like, I don't really want to do sales. It's not... it didn't appeal to me. And now that I'm older, I just feel like everything is kind of sales. The way you sell your company, the way you sell to your employees, your vision, the way you sell to potential investors in the future. I don't think you can discount the fact that, great CEOs are probably the best salesmen as well, salesmen and women. And then I think, even on this trip, we've talked a lot about compound interest, just the financial side of things, but I just think more from a personal, like putting in the work every day. It's not going to come in a week, in a month, in a year. Might not come for 10 years, but you put in the work every single day and you just try to improve and do a fraction of a percent better each and every day and stay, very focused on what you want to achieve. And I think over time, just that work that you put in kind of compounds, and you may see some success.
Right. Awesome.
I'd say get ready to be uncomfortable. I think that's where you get your drive from. If you're okay with it, you see a problem and that you can, overcome, I think that's the greatest learning experience. And put yourself in places that would initially make you uncomfortable and try and get yourself out of it, how to learn from it. I think as long as you still have your drive, and, I just kind of found my calling, just get into it, figure out what the issue is, learn the story, be prepared. Preparation is so important. And so that's what I always felt like. I wanted to feel like I was getting backed into a corner, and then I knew how to get myself out of that. And that's mostly what continues. That's why I wake up every day looking for the next adventure.
So basically, if you can handle awkwardness and master sales, you'll rule the AI world, or at least know how to sell the robots to someone else.
I know it sounds dramatic, but they're right. Sales skills and learning to be uncomfortable are critical. Why? Because AI really transforms the way we work. And it's not just about the tech. It's about persuading others to embrace this change and then being comfortable with this uncomfortable change and navigating through those learning curves. So if you'd like to keep up with these kinds of insights, I'd encourage you to subscribe to our newsletter linked in the description below. We survey implementations across diverse industries so you can really take the guesswork out and focus on results. Until next time, keep innovating and stay curious.